Cos Samaras is the man we like to talk to. State of the race each and every Sunday. We'll do a big and proper version of it in a couple of days' time after our Peter Dutton pub test tomorrow night and our celebration of Toowoomba tonight. He's, of course, the boss of the RedBridge organisation who, like me, loves a data dump, and there was one hell of a one this weekend. Cos, lovely to see you, mate. Cos, there seems to be a lot of noise, and by that I mean lots of different polls that show us lots of different things. The trend is pretty obvious, but as a bloke who's making these polls himself and swimming through everyone else's data, what are you saying about the noise?
Yeah, I can almost guarantee you Labor's not winning Deakin in Victoria, that's for sure. The only thing that's going to be happening in Victoria is Labor's going to be losing seats to the coalition. At the moment, on a good day, Labor loses about 3 federal seats to the coalition in Victoria. So, look, the polls, if you step back and you look at them, it's 51-49 Labor's way. 3 weeks ago, it was the other way around. We're dealing within the margins right now because the electorate is so fractious, and there is a very big group of Australians out there who, frankly, don't have any loyalties to anyone, are swimming in the mix. So right now, they're in most parts of the country willing to park their vote on the Labor Party more than the coalition, obviously in a number of key seats. That doesn't mean the thing is actually done and dusted yet.
If most people around the country and bigger margins outside of the Labor vote say they can't name a single thing that's made your life better in 3 years, how is it 51-49 in either direction?
Yeah, because basically when you speak to voters, you say to them, well, what do you think of the current mob? Not much. What about the other bloke? Not much. Right? And so Dutton's real challenge here is to actually offer millions of Australians who are quite peeved off at the moment some hope, a plan that actually gives them an alternative. If he does that successfully in the next 2 or 3 weeks, he could reverse this situation quite quickly. I make the point that about 42% of the voters' roll is made up of millennials. That is people 44 years and under. And these individuals, only half will tell you they have a values connection to a single registered political party in the country. So 50% of them, they have no connection to anyone. And so it doesn't take much to move them.
Now, you obviously do focus groups as well, where you get to talk to the people who participate in the surveys. What are they saying and what has changed, say, in the past couple of weeks? Not just about leaders, but about what they're looking for, hoping for and demanding of our debate in the next 4 weeks.
Depends who you are. If you're in the inner parts of Melbourne and Sydney and Brisbane, you're going to get a very different response to Dutton's cuts to the public service, for example. However, if you're in the outer suburbs, most of the feedback we get is, look, the tax cuts are nice. I'm not going to feel it. It's not even going to touch the size to my problem. What about, and we're asking the question, well, what do you think of the opposition's policy? I don't know anything about them. So they're not getting any cut for it, right? Now, the fuel excise policy that was announced last Thursday may indeed have some cut for it, but they need to do a lot more of that in the coming weeks to actually get their attention. And this is the key thing, get their attention, because they're not tuned in at all.
Dumb question, but you've been on the inside of campaigns, you've been watching things from the outside for a while. Yes, we know about the role of everything outside the quote-unquote traditional media and a lot of that stuff when it comes to socials. As a hardcore political person, does your stomach turn a little bit like mine when you see government ministers sort of talking like play school presenters trying to link the federal budget to maths because we're down with the kiddies?
Yeah, the problem is, the sort of the way I can describe what they do sometimes is it reminds me of some old bloke on the dance floor trying to act like they're 25 years of age, right? You just go, you just cringe. You just go, no, stop it, please. Don't do it again. And then my message to them is, yeah, don't do it. You come across as crass. You're not authentic. There are better people out there online who could do this a lot better. You should go and talk to them.
Yeah, I'm with you completely, Cos. I'm fine with a little bit of sort of dad dancing at a wedding, a bit of this and a bit of that, but I'm not going to be pretending to know any of the words to anything. And obviously, when Horses by Darryl Braithwaite, we just stand like this because it's one of the national anthems. Thank you, Cos. We'll see you on Tuesday, mate.